whatever's in the past. Never healing, yeah, you're so detached. Couldn't face me, yeah, you met your match. You were never really proud at all. That's why you had to always see us fall, just to feel like you were somewhat tall. Only just
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music. And in this video we're going to be talking about a very exciting topic, which is my top 20 best male dance entertainers of history. Okay, and I did one with the females and now I'm doing one with the males. But before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my single. I'm a music artist as well too, so definitely check it out. I'd really appreciate it. Link is in the bio as well as all over on YouTube. All you have to do is type my name and you could definitely pop up and check out my music. So I definitely appreciate that. But getting back into the video, okay, and this is going to be my top 20 best male dance entertainers, and I will be looking all throughout history as far back as the 20s until now. And one important thing is the rating and how I'm going to be rating this. And I'll be rating this based off of three things, okay? The first thing is skill, okay? Skill is going to be literally skill. Your dance execution, how complex, how technical you are, how complex your dances are, how well you execute them. Your things such as your acrobatics, your flexibility, okay, your coordination, okay, all of that is skill set, how well skilled you are in dancing, okay. The second thing I'll be rating it is by your impact, okay, how impactful is your dancing to your artistry, okay, is this a vehicle that you use to drive your artistry, or is it more secondary, okay, how much of an impact does it play into your overall artistry? And the last, which is influence, okay, and influence meaning how influential is your dancing to the world and to the industry? How many people have looked up to you? How has your dance videos and your artistry, your dance artistry has impacted other artists and dancers coming up in the industry in general? Okay, so those three main things is how I'll be rating. Okay, so it will be your skill set, okay, how impactful it is to your artistry, and then the overall influence that it plays. And just a couple disclaimers because it's very important to know. There will be some people ahead of other people and you might think, oh my god, that person's a much better dancer than them. Why they're ahead? Well, that's because, again, we're looking at not just skill, but also the impact and the influence. So it's a whole full package. So there could be people ahead of other people that aren't as technically skilled in dancing, but their influence, their impact is big and large, so that put them ahead. So just remember that, to think of it as the full package, having the skill, the impact, and the influence, okay, not just one. And another thing, another disclaimer is I won't be considering any entertainers that are in groups. So if you're in a music group like B2K, I won't be considering them unless you go solo. Like Omarion went solo, so I could, consider his solo career. But nobody within groups, okay? So I'm not naming any people in groups. However, I will be naming other solo acts, whether they be actors, musicians, or dancers, whatever they strictly are. I'll be considering them in the top 20 dance, as long as it's a solo entertaining act. Yes, those are the things to know just to get an understanding of how I'm rating this, okay? But before we even get into that, I do have a couple honorable mentions that I would like to mention, okay? And these are just people who didn't make the list. I felt like they almost could have, but I feel like they're still worth mentioning because of their impact, their influence, and their skills. So here are the honorable mentions before we get into the top 20. The first honorable mention is going to be Mario. So if you don't know Mario, Mario was a very popular R&B pop singer in the early 2000s. Now, granted, he came from the era where there was a lot of male R&B artists who were dancing, okay, like kind of like that Usher type of formula, that like kind of taking from Usher's formula in terms of the type of R&B artist he is, which, you know, he dances, he does up-tempo music. So during the early 2000s, we had a lot of male R&B artists who danced, and Mario's a part of that, you know, era. And he was a really good dancer, really good choreography. Baby, you should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you. That song. So if you check out those videos, he's definitely a dancer. The choreography is very slick and smooth. And even his live performances, really good. So definitely an honorable mention. The next honorable mention is Sisqó. Yes, Sisqó. I know some of us may have forgotten Sisqó. But Sisqó, I think he was from the group Dru Hill. Either that or another group. I have to figure it out. But he's the guy with the silver hair who sung the Thong Song, the very popular Thong Song. And if you actually watch his live performances, he's actually a really, really, really good dancer. Now, I don't know what happened to his career, but had he had a longer career, a stronger one, he could have been a lot higher into the list, because looking at his dance performances, it's amazing. Like, this guy was actually a really good performer, really good dancer, has a lot of energy, a lot of great execution, and improv as well too. He was very kind of freestyle, kind of put his own attitude and style into it. Next honorable mention is Ne-Yo. Okay, yes, Ne-Yo. Now, you might not think of dancing when it comes to Ne-Yo, but if you actually watch his videos and even some of his performances, he actually does dance, and it's something that goes kind of overlooked because he's more known for his ballads and his songwriting. But when Ne-Yo was really like trying to be an artist, like really being an artist, being his own solo act, he would dance and he would give some good choreography. You know, he was very inspired by Michael Jackson, and he also came out again during the early 2000s with a lot of male R&B artists who were dancing, okay? You know, it's that Usher, Michael Jackson effect. And the last honorable mention, but not least, is Offset. Yes, Offset. If you guys don't know, Offset actually dances. Now, he doesn't showcase it a lot. He has been a lot more. And he's been also inspired by Michael Jackson as well too. But Offset actually started off as a dancer. He was actually a dancer, a backup dancer in Whitney Houston's music video. So fun fact there. But yeah, Offset actually dances. And there's a few performances where you're seeing him incorporate that. And he has been incorporating it more as he's gone on to his tour and stuff like that. So, you know, if he pushes this more, it would really stand him out as an artist, because there's not a lot of hip-hop male artists. I don't think any that really dance. So this would stand Offset out. So with that being said, here is the top 20 best male dance entertainers. Okay, my list of the top 20 based off of skill, impact, and influence. Okay, at number 20 we have Justin Bieber. Okay, Justin Bieber makes our number 20 spot, and his mentor was Usher. So a lot of that type of formula in terms of the type of artist he was, that R&B pop dance artist, was inspired. So he took a lot of his formula and his artistry, you know, modeling it from like Usher, which is again a dance pop R&B artist. Okay, so a lot of Justin's music and artistry is very similar, but yeah, he took on to the choreography, and because he was so popular, Justin Bieber was the most popular male artist during his time. You know, he had some competition, but overall, his influence is really up there. So a lot of times when we thought about a male dancer in the 2010s, it was really just Justin Bieber. Really, there wasn't really a lot other. There's like a few others, but Justin Bieber was like one of the very few male artists who really danced. He kind of, you know, regardless if you think he's good or not, he held it down for the era. So you definitely got to give it to Justin Bieber. Okay, at number 19 we have Lil Nas X. Okay, Lil Nas X. Now, Lil Nas X has, as a male artist, has been giving us the full kind of entertainment experience, meaning he's singing, rapping, and dancing, and giving visuals and costuming and all that type of stuff. So he very much is into the artistry of entertainment, of being a performer. And he's matched up with Sean Bankhead, an amazing choreographer who's been choreographing all the amazing dances of this new era. He's matched up with Sean Bankhead, and they have brought out some amazing choreography. And Lil Nas X isn't, again, just like Justin Bieber, he isn't the best dancer. He isn't like the most smoothest. However, he still dances anyway, and he gives a very considerable amount of effort into his choreography. Okay, and we haven't seen that in a while, especially from a male artist who is a rapper. So props to Lil Nas X, props to the choreography that he's been bringing out and the full-blown dance performances. Definitely deserves the number 19 spot. And, you know, if he keeps going, you know, he can get higher and he could definitely get better. But, you know, the effort that he puts into his performances, into the dance, is, you know, definitely commendable. Something definitely to commend. Again, not a lot of male artists dance nowadays, so it's really refreshing to see an artist put so much energy into their performance. Number 18, we have Vanilla Ice. Okay, Vanilla Ice. Yes, Vanilla Ice is very old school. This is back in the 90s, okay? And Vanilla Ice is actually a part of the New Jack Swing movement. If you guys don't know, like during the 90s, there was a lot of up-tempo music going on. A lot of strong footwork, you know, hopping, stepping, jumping, twisting, like just a lot of footwork. And it was a really popular dance style that was in the 90s, you know. Okay, and he would incorporate really cool choreography into, you know, his songs. And again, he was a part of that whole New Jack Swing movement. One of those really big artists, you know, doing it down. So dancing became really big, especially in the 90s, with the up-tempo music and the influence from Michael Jackson. So you see a lot of street dancers. Props to Vanilla Ice. A lot of people do overlook his dancing skills, but when he was out there, he was hot. He was, you know, getting it, and he was really doing it. So definitely Vanilla Ice deserves a spot. Number 17, okay, we have Omarion. Okay, Omarion. Now, Omarion is a member from B2K, and B2K was a really good dance group. Like, B2K, they could dance. If you look at their performances, they're really good dancers. But I made it so that I would made it clear that I'm not going to be mentioning anyone from groups. But Omarion went solo after, you know, B2K. So Omarion, his dancing in his solo career really showed through, and his execution, and also how precise he was. He's very good when it comes to choreography. If you look at a lot of his music videos, the choreography is really on point, really precise, and it's executed very perfectly. I think Omarion gets kind of overlooked when it comes to that, but actually his dancing skills to me are just very precise, very on point, and he executes it perfectly. So the lines are straight, the isolations are perfect, really good with the isolations, very great at choreography. And had his solo career been more successful, Omarion would have been a lot more influential as a dancer if his career was solo career was more successful. He would have been one of those, because like I said, his dancing, his choreography, one thing that sticks out so much is how perfect and precise it is. He really perfects the choreography, really good dancer. So definitely Omarion for the spot. Right. At number 16, we have MC Hammer. MC Hammer. Now, MC Hammer is a part of the New Jack Swing era that I was talking about with Vanilla Ice. And MC Hammer could really be the face of this era with his MC Hammer pants and, you know, the MC Hammer dance. That was so influential, so big in the 90s, such a huge moment, and such a highlight of what I'm talking about the New Jack Swing beat boys type of era where there's a lot of footwork going on. MC Hammer is like the quintessential like icon of this era. Like if I were to go back to this era, I would use him as an explanation of the whole culture of it, and including the fashion, the movement, everything. But Very, very, very iconic dancer, because we always think of, you know, MC Hammer. We think of the MC Hammer dance. We think of that automatically. And it doesn't matter how many decades have passed, like, he's still known for that. That's how powerful and influential and strong his, you know, short, however, big career, especially with that song, Can't Touch This. It's so influential. Again, it screams that whole era that I'm talking about in the 90s, which a lot of male dancers have come from that era that I'm naming on this list. But he is such an icon and such a pioneer for that, okay? Like, he really is an icon of that era. So you cannot mention a top 20 dance list and not mention MC Hammer. He's just a signature male dancer, incredibly iconic, and definitely a representation of that huge dance movement in the 90s. At number 15, we have our favorite, Elvis, okay? Elvis. And Elvis's dance moves, it's such, again, just like I explained with MC Hammer, it's such a signature. It really represents kind of the era that he was from. The hip shaking, you know, the little splits, you know, on, you know, the spins and splits, you know, on stage. Just very signature dance moves that really explain that whole era during that time. And the reason why Elvis gets this high position, even though he's not an amazing dancer, his impact and his influence in terms of his swag, his style of dancing, so many people have took from him, his mannerisms, his movement, and the way that he moves. It's been replicated so much that it is incredibly influential, and he's such an icon for that era. So it's hard to really not mention Elvis, how big of a role his dancing and his movement played in his appeal and his stardom and his fame. Okay, it wasn't just the music, it was the whole package, it was the look, it was the movement. Okay, now at number 14 we have Jason Derulo. Okay, Jason Derulo. All right, now Jason Derulo is one of the newer artists. He really popped off during the 2010s. Very up-tempo, and he's very acrobatic, does a lot of choreography, and puts a lot of energy into his dances. So definitely can't sleep on Jason Derulo, on his dancing skills. Very impactful, and he's a really good skilled dancer. A lot of his live performances, very energetic, full with choreography. And he has like a lot of energy, very spontaneous, very charismatic, you know, in his performances. So definitely props to Jason Derulo. And he's also one of the 2010s male dancers who were like really, really good up there. You know, Justin Bieber, again, he was like one of them. He danced too, but when it came to Jason Derulo could really dance. Like, he was really, you can tell he's really good. You know, so definitely props to Jason Derulo. Now at number 13 we have Jungkook. Okay, Jungkook. Now if you don't know Jungkook is one of the 7 members of BTS. Now he went solo. I think he was one of the earliest ones to go solo. I think a lot of other artists in BTS went solo too, but he was the one who really stood out, especially for America. I think the rest of BTS had to do like army work or something like that. I'm not sure, but Jungkook debuted with his album Golden. And the choreography and the dancing is absolutely amazing. Now Jungkook is from a K-pop band, BTS, so you know they know how to dance. Okay, and I wish I could name K-pop groups, but again, I'm not going to be naming groups, only solo acts. But being he's from K-pop, you know he knows how to dance. The guy is incredibly precise, really good dancer. Very strongly executed choreography, very intricate, very complex. And he utilizes lots of skills, pop locking, jazz, dancing, you name it, hip hop. And what's beautiful about Jungkook is also that he pulls a lot from Michael Jackson. You've seen the influence of Michael Jackson moves on him, and how he's like kind of reintroduced those moves into a more modern era. And it has come out very beautifully. If you've seen a lot of his performances, absolutely amazing choreography from video to live performances. It's amazing, and it has such strong impact in his music. Like, his dancing is not just some little choreography you do. It really transforms his music videos and his live performances. Like, his live performances are very dance orientated. So the impact is super, super, super strong. And it just really, again, takes his performances to a whole different level. To me, if Jungkook continues his solo career, he's going to be really successful because he has so much of the elements that a male pop star needs. And being that he dances so well, very great. Very great. Like, again, he's a really good mover, and this is just nothing to not expect, especially from K-pop artists. But really good dancer, very good moves, very quick, very intricate, very complex. And again, like, you know, if his career keeps going, if he keeps going with his solo career, I could see him really taking that top spot as a male artist, especially since he's so well packaged. Better than, I think he's like the best dancer as a solo male act right now. Definitely the best. There's no one who really rivals him, besides the, you know, the veterans, you know, of course. But with the newer artists, Jungkook takes it by a mile. At number 12, okay, at number 12 we have Sean Bankhead, okay, Sean Bankhead. Now, Sean Bankhead is one of the newest choreographers of this generation. He's getting so much buzz because he's pretty much has been choreographing all the major dances, everyone from Normani to Victoria Monet to Tate McRae to Lil Nas X, you name it, he's done it. And his dances are absolutely amazing. His choreography is absolutely amazing. The projects that he's done for all these artists are amazing. Everything from video to live performance. It's very intricate, very complex. You could tell he is really has strong attention to detail, and he gives out this sort of raw kind of energy with like a lot of like the Houston style Texas type of dancing. Like, it's just very raw, energetic, and he pushes every body. Like, I see a lot of his dances where he does very quick, fast movements, but he utilizes every part of your body, and his dance is very, very versatile. So he's amazing, and he's the reason why so many people are on this list, because he's been choreographing for him, including the dance girls as well too. But he's been very influential to this new movement that we've been moving into. And because a lot of more artists are dancing now, there's so much for him to choreograph. There's so much that he's been putting out because of it. So he's definitely incredibly influential, very influential as a choreographer, and is pretty much, and is literally running the dance scene right now for the industry. Is Sean Bankhead. So props to Sean Bankhead, props to his influence, and how he's been transforming the industry and what we've been seeing dance and visually. And again, it's amazing work that he's been doing. Absolutely amazing work, incredible choreography, and very versatile. Props to Sean Bankhead for pioneering the dance industry as of right now. Now, at number 11, okay, number 11, we have Bruno Mars, okay, Bruno Mars at number 11. Now, Bruno Mars was major, and definitely was killing the 2010s. And a lot of his dances weren't the most complex, but they were so fun and so impactful to his music, because they would be so fun and so groovy. Okay, he's given us that kind of old school approach to performing, okay, with the dance and the music, okay, and the grooving, you know. So Bruno Mars is very influential, and again, like, he doesn't dance for no reason. It always plays a major role into, you know, his music performances and his music in general, and it's always something catchy, something you can group to, something you could be like, oh, I want to dance like that, I want to do that too. It's very relatable, very fun, and I think that's what made it so impactful, that so many people can relate to it, and how comedic it can be, how playful it could be. So, and really great mover, you know, and as his career grew, you just saw the dances and the movement in his performance become so much bigger, so much better, you know, because we mostly known him at the beginning of his career as more like vocals and kind of like a powerhouse vocal with like a band, but gradually you just started seeing him dance more and more, and it just became so impactful. Again, they're not the most complex dance moves, but they're fun, they're relatable, and they are really impactful to the music and enhances the music and it contributes to the whole overall experience. So props to Bruno Mars, definitely deserves the 11th spot. Now for our top 10, okay? At number 10, we have Prince, okay? Prince. Now, a lot of people do not, Prince's dancing gets it's very underrated. It's very underrated. It kind of goes under the radar. Which is weird, but if you watch Prince's performances, the amount of acrobats and movements and dancing that he does, it's amazing. I think it's because also Prince wasn't as serious of a dancer. He wouldn't go into like any serious choreography or anything. His choreography would be, kind of simple, but he was more like freestyle, dance with your spirit and kind of create a little choreography around it. So a lot of his influence in terms of dancing came strictly from like, James Brown. And if you notice, James Brown actually brought Prince and Michael Jackson to stage one time to show them their moves. Prince ended up playing the guitar instead, because again, that's more of his forte. But dancing, he gets underrated for that. I'm talking about doing backflips in heels off of like speakers. I'm talking about the splits, the spins, the stamina. His dancing gets overlooked a lot. But it is there, and it's one of the most underrated things I feel like it comes with Prince, his dancing skills. But he was very, very influential as a mover. And again, you saw a lot of his movements, kind of like James Brown, like movements, where people dance with the guitar and do the split and spin around. So Prince definitely gets the 10th spot because his acrobatics, the acrobatics that you would need to do that is absolutely amazing. And definitely underrated. Okay, at number 9, we have Bobby Brown. Okay, Bobby Brown. Now, Bobby Brown is an amazing mover. And he's another representation of the New Jack Swing era that had popped off in the 90s with all the amazing footwork. And out of all of them, MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, gosh, all those damn groups. Bobby Brown, to me, when it came to New Jack Swing, he owned it. The footwork that he would do would be absolutely amazing. Like, his performances was almost like he was just in a different world. Like, yeah, he's dancing, but he's taking it beyond the routine. He's, like, in it. He's improvising. Has so much energy, so much charisma. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. The dance, the footwork, the way he would switch it up, the way he would improvise, the way he would dance with his crew and then come out of the dance and then come back in again. It was absolutely amazing. And again, had his career been a lot better and he didn't get into all that trouble and started all that drama with Whitney, he would have been a lot bigger and a lot more respected for his dance contribution, because it is amazing the way Bobby Brown would move. If you watch his performances, the speed, the agility, the accuracy, the coming in the choreography and out the choreography and back in, the stepping, oh my god, the footwork is absolutely amazing. I've never seen a person with such great footwork. So the guy was really good dancer, really good dancer. And again, if he was so much better with his career, he would have had a much better trajectory and a much more respect for his performance skills, because it really goes overlooked, but if you go back and you see his performances, top tier performances, definitely deserves the number 9 spot. At number 8, we have Justin Timberlake, okay? And I know we haven't been a big fan of Justin JT in a minute for, the things that he's been doing. But when it comes to dance, Justin Timberlake definitely has this on pack. Justin Timberlake, I think his biggest strength to me as a dancer is choreography and accuracy. He is so good with choreography, everything down to the most smallest minute details. And I think that's why he can execute the choreography so well, because a choreographer can literally have him do the most intricate details of a move and he'll get it precisely with the backup dancers. Like, he will get it just as good with the backup dancers. And yeah, his dancing, his choreography is just amazing. Now, Justin Timberlake isn't a freestyle dancer, so he can't improvise like that. But when it comes to his routine and the choreography, it's like top tier. When you look at Justin Timberlake's performances, his dance performances, choreography performances are like, he executes them so strongly, so accurately. And he can literally emphasize any small detail. It's like amazing the little movements and sudden movements that he gets correctly. Like, it never goes out. And it's like, for him to be able to do that, pick it up in such a way, it makes his choreography and his dancing look so neat, so well executed, so precise. So I know a lot of the choreographers love choreographing him because they could probably get him to do the most complex things and he would nail it with such accuracy. The lines, everything is very beautifully done. So Justin Timberlake is a really, really good dancer, especially when it comes to choreography. Not much of a freestyle dancer, but definitely choreography. And if you look at a lot of his performances, his big performances, they're just done. They're executed very well. Like, I cannot hate on it. It's like, he definitely deserves this spot. As number 8, Justin Timberlake, yes. At number 7, we have Sammy Davis Jr. Yes, Sammy Davis Jr. Now, he debuted, he's like back in the, I believe, the 30s and 40s. Sammy Davis Jr. was huge, and one of the huge pioneers for black dance entertainers. He is like the main pioneer of a black dance entertainer. Sammy Davis Jr., yeah, he went into music, into singing, but he primarily became a dance superstar. Dancing in all these variety shows, amazing footwork. I mean, like, not only is he a great dancer, but he's a great entertainer. He knows how to move in an entertaining way. He knows how to express his movements to the crowd. You don't miss anything when it comes to his performances. Every movement he does counts. And this is back in the day, okay? Back in the day where people really became huge superstars just from dancing. He's from like the 30s. I gotta look. I think the 30s, 40s, and 50s. A lot of dance entertainers, you know, where you would see them variety shows and you would see these entertainers just dancing. He is one of them, but like one of the biggest dance superstars, Sammy Davis Jr. And he has pioneered waves for Prince, Michael Jackson, heavily looked up to Sammy Davis Jr., a lot of the black artists, but he is like the original black male dance entertainer, Sammy Davis Jr. Like, in some shape or form, I wouldn't say literally, but some shape or form, kind of like the male version of like a Josephine Baker in terms of being a black dance entertainer. So Sammy Davis Jr. is the GOAT. I'm telling you, like, Michael Jackson really looked up to him. His footwork was absolutely freaking amazing. His dancing, tap, jazz, swing, whatever you call it, like, he did it all, and he did it with such charisma, such personality. He danced with so much personality. He could talk and dance and be with you at the same time. Like, he was just such a great dance entertainer. So props to Sammy Davis Jr. At number 6, we have Gene Kelly. Okay, Gene Kelly. Now, Gene Kelly, very iconic, legendary dance filmmaker. Okay, and he's a part of that era, again, from the 30s, 40s, and 50s of major dance entertainers. Okay, major dance entertainers. And Gene Kelly would do dance films, like a lot of dance films. One of the major choreographers and dancers of Hollywood. He would do all these major dance films. He would also dance with Julie Garland a lot. He would do couple dances with Julie Garland, and I named Julie Garland in the other top 20 female list, and just an amazing pair. But Gene Kelly was absolutely amazing, the way he would choreograph his films, his dance pieces, movies, everything. absolutely amazing. They would call him to add dance and choreography to films to enhance them. And he was a very intuitive dancer too. So he wasn't, I mean, if you look at him, you would think he's super technical, but the idea of what's technical, the standards have changed, but he would improvise a lot. He wouldn't go strictly to technique when he listened to music. He would use some of it, but use his intuition and what he felt like needed to be expressed versus going strictly on the technical book. Like, he was such an influence in the dance entertainment industry, and he's like a goat, okay? And again, his films were amazing, very iconic dance films. Paula Abdul, I mean, Madonna, Michael Jackson, so many of these people looked up to Gene Kelly. And those iconic duos he would do with Judy Garland, absolutely amazing dancer, definitely 100% deserves this spot. And again, he's one of those key dance entertainers, especially from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, okay, bringing out, this is the time where all you had to be was a dancer, really. And that was really what got you to be a superstar. So he's a part of that era, and such a foundation of old original Hollywood. So, and his skills were absolutely amazing, just intricate, the skill set, this level, everything from what he choreographed to how he executed them, absolutely amazing. He's a real dancer's dancer. So Gene Kelly is too legendary, definitely deserves a spot. Okay, for our top 5, okay, and at number 5 we have Usher, okay, Usher gets the top 5 spot. Usher is one of the biggest male pop R&B artists, male artists of our generation. 2000s, 2010s, like, he ran it, and he's one of our biggest, and especially known for his dancing. I mean, Usher is like the blueprint, okay, and like I said before, in the early 2000s, there were a lot of pop R&B dance male artists, okay? I named them like B2K, Omarion, Mario, Cisco. You had Justin Timberlake, Chris Brown. But I always feel like Usher was like the original blueprint of that R&B smooth with a pop and dance. He is like the original blueprint. And that's probably why he mentored Justin Bieber, because when you were looking for that new pop R&B dance male artist, it was like, who can you think of? Usher, the original. But anyway, Usher's that original dance male artist, and what also makes him really good is that he does choreography. I don't think choreography is like his strongest suit, but he does it anyway. He does a pretty good job at it. He's not bad at all. But his improvising, his freestyle abilities, this is a kind of what puts him to a next level, because he just knows how to slip, slide, glide, and improvise his dancing. So that even sometimes Usher won't even be doing the choreography to T, but he adds his own swag to it. That just makes it him. It just makes it him, and it makes it more personal and not just choreography or dancing. Like, you can tell he has his own swag, and that's what makes him an amazing dancer, is that he's not only good with choreography, but he's also good with improvising, being a freestyle dancer, being able to express his dancing in his own individual unique style. The electric side, like, Usher's smooth. Usher is very smooth, very suave, and he can pretty much dance in thin air. Like, he could like dance through improvisation. So his freestyling, his improvising, his smooth gliding, the way he just goes through routines, absolutely amazing. And again, it's that influence, and how he was like an R&B dance kind of blueprint that a lot of artists later were modeled after his artistry. So, Usher with the influence, okay, and again, the dance, like, Usher's a great dancer, Usher's a great mover, like, we all know him for that. And a lot of times when we think about great pop male dancers, a lot of times it's Usher that comes into mind. You know, Usher, you know, Chris Brown, Justin Timberlake, those are the people who come into mind, and Usher's one of like the huge main ones. So definitely Usher with the blueprint, with the amazing improvising skills, definitely deserves top 5. He's one of the biggest, most popular dancers of our time. Number 4, we have James Brown. Okay, James Brown dances from the soul. James Brown has influenced so many artists. I said Prince, Michael Jackson, Usher, Chris Brown, you name it. James Brown is that dude. And his dancing, his movement on stage was just captivating. Absolutely captivating. He dances from the soul. The footwork, the constant movement, dances strictly from the soul, and it was such a captivating thing to watch. Okay, to watch someone who is so rhythmic, so connected, so strong and powerful and convincing within his movement and the music. And again, it's like, it's not about choreography necessarily. It's not about technique in ballet. It's really about dancing from the soul, that improv. And James Brown just got so many people moving. I mean, he would move, he would spin, he'd go into a split, he'd do all the foot movement. It was just such, it was almost like you're catching the Holy Ghost. It was such a representation of how our culture dances strictly through the soul, through feeling. You know, like how you go to a church, go to a black church, and you know the gospel music's going on and we're just like going, like, it's such a representation of our culture as black people and how we dance strictly through intuition and through the soul and how we feel. And James Brown was a complete reflection of that, strictly like just dancing from the soul, so much rhythm. Got so much of us to start dancing and moving, like so much of us dance and move because of James Brown and his music. And again, so many artists that came after him, like Michael Jackson, like Prince, like MC Hammer, Bobby Brown, you name it, have been influenced by him and his movements and how he approached it, okay? He is the godfather of soul, and that's dancing from the soul. You have to know how to dance from the soul. You can pick up choreography all you want, but what really makes a dancer stand out as a unique individual, like Usher, like Gene Kelly, is being able to bring out your own uniqueness, your own personality. And that is James Brown, strictly bringing and singing from the soul. So James Brown is a huge mover, very influential. As soon as you watch him dancing, you're captivated. You're like, whoa, you just want to start dancing too. So very huge influence when it comes to male dancers. He's influenced so many people, and his performances are just so powerful. To this day, you watch it and you're just captivated. So props to James Brown and his amazing influence. At number 3, we have the one and only Chris Brown. Okay, another Brown. We had Bobby Brown, we had James Brown, now we got Chris Brown. Chris Brown gets the number 3 spot. Chris Brown is an absolutely amazing dancer on a technical level, on a freestyle level, on an acrobatic physical level. Chris Brown can do anything and everything. He can do any and everything. The choreography, amazing. The acrobatics, like, one thing that stands Chris Brown out from a lot of the other dancers is how acrobatic he is. Like, this guy just goes into back flips and front flips, and this guy could just literally do anything with his body. He is so athletic and so versatile. And that's, to me, what really stands him out. Like, he executes choreography very well, and very intricate choreography. He executes his freestyling well. The dude can freestyle dance like no one's business. Like, just go straight into dancing, and that really makes you a really good dancer because you now have your own individuality and identity in terms of how you move. So you have the freestyle, you have the acrobatics, you have the choreography. Chris Brown is the most impressive dancer of our generation. Most impressive male dancer. Nobody is at his level. Nobody really is at his level. When it comes to being an entertainer and being a dancer, no one's really at his level. He's done the most work, most impressive work. You look at his performances, the acrobatics, the jumping, the flipping, the energy, the strength, the endurance, the versatility. It's all there. Breaking, pop locking, anything Chris Brown can pretty much do. And that's what makes him so absolutely amazing. And again, in his era, nobody compares to him. Jason Derulo, Justin Timberlake, nobody compares to Chris Brown. Chris Brown actually, on a skillful level, is up there, as well as on an intuitive freestyle level, improvising level. So he's got the best of both worlds, of all different worlds when it comes to dance. And I think that's what makes him so unstoppable. And again, his energy is captivating. It's crazy. It's incredibly athletic. It's beyond this world. So Chris Brown definitely gets the number 3 spot, okay? Now, number 2, okay? The number 2 spot, all right, is Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire. And Fred Astaire is the original dance superstar. Okay, Fred Astaire, I think he was born 1899. So he is the beginning of Hollywood. But when it comes to dance films, all of that, dance films, dance choreography comes from Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire was a perfectionist. Okay, he mastered so many dances, and he brought them into film, brought them into performance, and did it so organically and during the beginning of times. This is why they call him the ultimate dance superstar, the original out of everybody. Some people would even put him at number 1 because of however original of a person he is when it comes to his influence in dance. But this is the original dance superstar. He has had so many dance films, so many studios, so many things of dance world has been named after Fred Astaire. You just cannot talk about dance and not mention Fred Astaire. He is the ultimate legendary icon, the ultimate blueprint, the original dance superstar entertainer. And he lifted Hollywood. He pioneered Hollywood when it came to dance entertainment. He was the pioneer. He is the ultimate dance film superstar. You just can't name dance and dance history without Fred Astaire. He is such an icon, and he's influenced literally almost like every person on this list. I mean, just incredible. So many iconic, legendary performances that he has done. They're just so iconic that other artists like Michael Jackson, like so many people have pulled from. So Fred Astaire is the blueprint. He's the reason why. He is the first dance male superstar. The original, the GOAT. And his choreography, his hard work, his films have been so impactful, so iconic. And again, was the foundation of a lot of Hollywood entertainment. So this guy's a pioneer, a blueprint, a legend, an act, and he's like the ultimate king of dance and film and entertainment. So you cannot talk about dance and not put him at least in the top 3. That's how big of a deal Fred Astaire is. Absolutely amazing, absolutely iconic, absolutely legendary. Last but not least, for the number 1 spot is Michael Jackson. Yes, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson gets the number 1 spot, okay, for my top 20 best male dance entertainers. It is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson has pulled from the greats, okay? Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, Sammy Davis Jr., Jackie Wilson, James Brown. He has pulled from all of the great dance entertainers, and he came from the era growing up, being that Michael's like a late 50s baby. He came from the era of dance films, okay? Like what you saw with Judy Garland, Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly. He came from the era of dance films, old Hollywood dance films. So he is coming directly from this era. So his execution and his approach to dance, especially as someone who takes it seriously, is superb because he had such great influences ahead of him. So Michael Jackson does everything. He does choreography, and his choreography is so well executed. Everything from the intricate details. And what makes Michael Jackson even so much better than just the choreography is the fact that he styled a lot of his own dances. He created his own dance style. Like, Michael Jackson dancing is a legit dance style form. His whole language in terms of the movement is all within him. Okay, to create your own dance genre, your own unofficial dance genre, is amazing, and it's something I can't say for every person on this list. But Michael Jackson is such a study of dance, but also an innovator, and so he's able to study dance and do complicated choreography, and do some of the most amazing, intricate choreography pieces you've ever seen. But he's also able to create his own dance style. He has his own identity as a dancer, so much so that he created a whole dance genre. Like, Michael Jackson dancing is a specific type of dancing, and there's so many moves to go with it. So to be such an impactful musical influencer, but to use dance to kind of skyrocket your career, is absolutely amazing. He is such a great freestyle dancer. I mean, he just has the rhythm in him. He just moves. And he made, chorus line dancing very popular, with his video Thriller. If you look at Bad, you look at Dangerous, the choreography, Dangerous, absolutely amazing. And it has Michael Jackson written all over it. So he didn't just do choreography, but he did his own style of choreography. He would collaborate with other choreographers to create something original. And that's what makes Michael Jackson, because he has the best of both worlds. He is very critical, very studied, but also has his own style, has his own influence, and the energy. I mean, when you think of a male dancer, Michael Jackson's like the first to think of. He owned that whole thing. Okay, so influential. All the dancers you can think of, even male, female. Janet Jackson, who I named her the top female dance entertainer, her influence was Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson is the ultimate dancer. Like, he is the ultimate quintessential dancer. Everyone knows him as the top male dancer. He's influenced everybody. Chris Brown, Janet Jackson, who topped the other list, Britney, Usher, Jason Derulo, anyone you can name. When it comes to dance, it's Michael. Michael has his thing written all over it, and it is hard to beat. He can never be beaten because of his originality and his focus to the dance. Not only is he well trained and he focuses and he gives you the most complex choreography, but he also has his own identity and created his own dance genre. So props to Michael Jackson. He's number one on the list. Okay, and that is my top 20 male dance entertainers. Tell me what you guys thought about it. Who do you guys think deserves to get into the list? Who did you not agree with on the list? Who do you think should have got better? Who do you think was overrated on the list? Let me know in the comment section below. I love your guys' commentary. And I'll check you guys back out in the next video. Also, don't forget to check out my music. Okay, link is in the description box. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Thanks for watching.